The Wyeth Dairy in Modesto, California has been described as solid, deep-rooted, productive, and successful. There is a reason. Jim and Ivan Wyeth.
Well, my grandfather came out from Iowa in 1912 and bought the ranch here, this 40 acres with a herd of cows on it and the furniture in the house, and he just moves in and starts milking the cows. And then after he passed away, it was left to my grandmother and my great uncle, and my dad purchased it from them in the 50s, and then he took us in partners in about 1960, and we started out small and grown up to where we're milking around 600 cows right now at the time. And my mother and my brother and two of my sons and my nephew are involved in the operation of the dairy today.
Environmental awareness and care in the Wyeth Dairy is paramount.
Okay, well here at our dairy we use a product of the salt industry, a byproduct, and we lay it down in the spring after the rain stop, and it holds down the dust. We get hardly any dust at all off of the treated areas, and we treat all the high traffic areas to control the dust. And in our cows, we pretty much keep them in the barns during the summertime when they'd be kicking up dust out in the corral. And that also adds to milk quality, because our milk quality is a lot better when they're in the free stalls. They're always clean. We maintain the free stalls so that they're comfortable for the cows to lay in, and they use them well. And so far we've been getting a quality bonus from our creamery every month, and that all kind of goes back. And by cleanliness, you don't have the fly problems. We haven't sprayed for flies on this dairy for years. We don't have the wet areas for the flies to breed and multiply, and we've had good control that way.
Running and maintaining a productive dairy is one thing. That's simply a way of life for the Wyeth family. Keeping abreast of the regulatory actions and challenges, well, that's something else.
Milk pricing is set up on a formula at the state, and the formula takes into consideration the price of milk powder and butter and the cheese market, and a couple other things that work into that formula. The concept of the state setting the price of milk is a fallacy, because all the state does is add up these numbers in the formula and then publish the minimum price to pay for milk. The only price the state sets is at the store. They say you cannot sell below the cost of production. And so whatever the cost of the milk coming into the store shelf, that's the lowest price they can charge. But the store can charge whatever they want above that price. So when you go to the store, you know, if milk is way out of line with another store, it's because they're wanting more income off of it. And we also have the challenges of the environment, water quality. We're getting inundated with regulations. Some of them make sense, some of them don't make sense. The air situation is about the same way. Don't have a problem with meeting some of these challenges if they're scientifically based, but when people are just deciding that this is what's going on and you need to do this without any scientific background, I have problems with that. Now, here at the Wyeth Dairy, we're open to tours for the kids, and it's kind of a two-pronged education system. The kids learn about how the dairy operates. The parents learn about the environmental issues, how we deal with them. And I even had one parent tell me that, "Oh, you're recyclers." I said, "Yeah, the dairy business has been recyclers forever. You know, you feed the cows, you generate manure, you put the manure out in the field as fertilizer, which enhances the crops." You know, a lot of these people don't understand this concept. I even had a woman one time ask me what we'd done to milk to make it white, and I had to strip some out of a cow to prove it to her. So that's the type of education that we'd like to get across to the public.
Through family teamwork, the Wyeth brothers have developed a solid and successful operating system for the dairy.
Okay, my brother and I are kind of the senior partners in the dairy, and my mother still is involved with us. And then my brother has one son, and he's kind of the herdsman. He does the breeding of the cows and takes care of the sick cows and the fresh cows. And two of my sons are involved with it. One is the feeder, and he buys the feed and also helps with some of the field work. My other son's more of a mechanical person, and he takes care of the equipment. If something breaks down, we call on him to fix it. And then he's also our spray person. He takes care of spraying the crops and the irrigation. So everybody's got their part of the operation that they take care of on a daily basis, and then everybody overlaps when somebody takes some time off.
Navigating the Wyeth Dairy is work, and it always will be. But not like it used to be when Jim Wyeth was a kid working on Dad's dairy.
Oh yeah, when I first started as a kid, we milked in the old barns, lock-up stalls. We fed hay in the barn to get the cows in to milk them. You'd have to push in between the cows to put the machines on, and it was kind of a dirty job because the cows aren't the cleanest animals in the world. And so now with the new facilities here we have, they lay in the free stalls, they're clean. They go in the barn, they're on an elevated platform. You don't have to rub up against the cows. The equipment is so much superior to what we dealt with years ago. They're just huge improvements in the way we operate today over what we did in the past. I enjoy it. I would not do anything else. I was done mechanic work, and that wasn't what I was really interested in. I always wanted to have a nice dairy, and I'm pretty much happy where we're at now. We got it all modernized, and our record keeping's all on computers, and we just kind of rolled along with the times, and new innovations come along. We try to incorporate it into our operations.
For Jim Wyeth, the dairy life, good or bad, is simply his way of life. Always has been and always will be.
My life here in the dairy has been my life. I had no desire to ever live in town. It's hard work, but I always say if you like what you're doing, you'll enjoy the life. If you don't like what you're doing, you need to get into something else. And dairy, I was born on the other end of this ranch 66 years ago, and I have never left here. Even through some of the hard times, it's still enjoyable business to be in.
California dairy families, making a difference today for tomorrow's generations.